Welcome to Wine Time. I'm your host, Kate Voltan. If you're new to Wine Time, welcome. This is where we talk about all things business, all things mummy, and we do it over wine because we can and because we love the smell and taste of wine. So today we're going to talk about your brand, and I'm going to give you 3 strategies to help you build a really good brand.
It's wine time.
Branding is really misunderstood in the industry, and I think a lot of times as small business owners we don't think it's as important. We always think of those big companies as needing their brand. But if you think about a brand in the traditional sense of, how they used to brand a cow, hence where the term branding comes from, that's really what it is. It's about your mark in the industry. So it really does matter. And branding to me is all about a feeling. It's that simple. It's just about a feeling. How does your brand make your customer or client feel? So follow these 3 strategies that I'm going to give you and you will have a solid brand.
It's wine time.
So your brand has to generate a feeling. Let's hope it's a good feeling. That's ultimately what you want to deliver. So how do you do that? I know for me, if I'm starting a new business, I'm always thinking about my brand, but I don't start with my brand. I'll start with my logo design, I'll figure out my colors, and then I'll also really get solid on what my message is. What's my core message? What am I trying to achieve with my business? And then you can bring your brand all together, because your brand is a representation of all of those things about your business. And if you're generating a negative feeling, then you're not really probably generating that kind of great feeling that you would like people to associate with your business. And here's the thing, in today's society, we make a judgment call like that, right? Like we decide if we like something right away. So you want to be mindful of things like color, right? You want to be mindful of things like clean and white space because it does matter. But at the end of the day, you want to ensure that your brand's exuding a really positive feeling for your client or customer.
It's wine time.
Okay, so strategy number 2, you have to commit to your brand. You have to really like it, okay? Because you're gonna be with it for a long time. So don't stand behind a brand that you don't believe in. That's not gonna do you or your business any good. Because things can change in time. I get that, logos can change, colors can change. But the essence, your brand should never change. A great example of that would be Apple. And we talk a lot about Apple in the marketing world. I get that because they're really good at it. They're at the top of their game. But from a branding perspective, they're also really solid because they've really tapped into their why, right? Their why is consistently challenging the status quo. That is their why. They want to continuously push it, and people relate to that. They don't necessarily relate to the computer, but they relate to that vision that Apple has that's so core to their brand. Simon Sinek at a TEDx conference talked about this, about Apple, and he says something that I think is so important that I have the paper because I don't want to misquote him. And he says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Big difference. Your brand is that why that we just talked about. I just told you about Apple's why, consistently pushing the status quo. That is the key to your brand.
It's wine time.
So strategy number 3 is consistency, and it matters. Consistency in brand is one of those things that so many companies miss out on. It's an opportunity that any business can tap into. You need consistent messaging across all of your platforms. Online, offline, email, business cards, all your social media pages, your website, your phone messaging, whatever it is, it all should have a consistent look and feel, consistent sound as well. Words matter. Think of McDonald's, okay? So a McDonald's has a pretty solid brand, as we all know, but there's a consistency factor across all of their marketing. There's a consistency factor in every single restaurant that you walk into. It's not like you walk into McDonald's and think, oh geez, I must be in Arby's or in Burger King. You know you're in McDonald's without fail, right? Every time. Your customers need to feel that when they're on your website or accessing any information you're providing, that same level of familiarity. It matters because guess what? When something's familiar, it's comfortable. And when it's comfortable, your clients and customers are more inclined to trust you and buy from you, right? It matters. That consistency matters. If one day they're on your website and it's green and the next day they go to Twitter and it's blue and then they're over here and it's yellow and it's not the same image, it doesn't become familiar, so they don't become comfortable with you, they're less likely to buy from you. So keep it simple, pick one brand, one color, and just use it across all your different platforms, and I promise you, you'll be successful.
It's wine time.
So there you have it, my 3 strategies on branding. Number 1, it has to generate a feeling. Number 2, it has to be something you're willing to commit to. And number 3, use it consistently. Just because you're a small business owner, it doesn't mean that your brand doesn't matter. Understand that if you use these 3 strategies, you could take your brand to the next level.
It's wine time.
That's it for this episode of Wine Time. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to Wine Time. That way it'll automatically show up in your inbox every single week. And don't miss out on visiting my website at katevoltan.com for all kinds of other resources. So, until next time, enjoy your wine.
It's wine time.